So I got something a little bit special for you guys that have been following along about the Umarex air javelin. They take these 88, 90 gram CO2 cartridges, and you can see this one is spent. And these things are kind of expensive, and they really don't give you that many shots. So I've been working on a PCP conversion for mine, which is in another video. Anyway, while I was working with the lathe, I got the wise idea. I was sitting there, I got some dimensions off of this thing for the threads and the size. Anyway, while I was sitting there, it just popped into my head that I have a spare fill nipple for a PCP. I recently found this thing stashed in my junk, and I thought, well, I wonder how thick this bottle is because it's pretty heavy. And it turns out it's right around a quarter of an inch thick in the bottom. So I put it in the lathe when I was done, and I drilled and tapped a hole in this thing with a 827 pipe thread, and put the fill nipple on it. And if you've got one of these things for a paintball gun, it goes right on the tank. And this is the Foster Quick Connect. You can put this thing on your gun. Now this has got a check valve in it, so when you put CO2 in it, it won't leak back out. You can hook this up to a larger bottle like like this one. This is a 24 ounce paintball bottle, and you can put this right on here. Tighten this valve down. This is what opens it up, and it will fill this CO2. But you need the CO2 if it's spent. You need this on the gun, or it'll all just leak right out the end. So yeah, you put this on the gun. Now you got a refillable gun, not just a throwaway CO2 canister that's, I think it's like $12 a piece or something stupid. Anyway, you can refill this thing with one of these, and you can get these right from Crossman. I've never ordered anything from Umarex, but you can probably get this fill nipple from Umarex. This is the same one that's on the gauntlet, right on the side of their PCP tanks. But anyway, Crossman sell these things all the time. This one is actually off of a Benjamin Maximus. This is the whole end that screws in, and I took that right out of here. And like I said, it's got a one-way valve in it, so the CO2 will go in but not come back out. Also, if you have a regulated bottle, instead of using CO2, if you have a regulated PCP bottle, like a Ninja bottle or something like that, that will fit on here. You just have to have the air pressure regulated down around 800 or 850 psi, and you can put a regulated paintball tank on this, like a 4500 psi Ninja paintball tank, and you just have to shoot tethered. If you're going to go out maybe squirrel hunting with it, people buy these hoses all the time. They got several different you can buy. They're maybe a little bit more portable than this thing is. This one's not real heavy, but you can put the paintball tank on your hip and carry this around. It would just have this thing sticking out from the front of the gun. Might get in the way in the brush or something like that. But just, walking around the yard looking for a squirrel or something like that, rabbit, that's not going to bother you at all. And then you got a regulated PCP without having to make yourself an adapter like I made. This is the first one I made, and it works okay, but I kind of got the threads just a little bit undersized. So when I screwed it in, it was a little bit loose. Well, I thought, I'll screw it in tight, and it'll tighten up. It did. However, the holes that I've got in it weren't in the right spot. They were not level. They were turned, so my bottle would be off to the side instead of straight up and down under the gun where I wanted it. So anyway, this one's still usable, but now I have to trim the end off of this. I have to shorten this end up just a little bit until these two holes in the side, line up, 90 degrees from the top of the gun, and it's screwed in tight. Then I can put the adapter back in and do that. And you're probably wondering where I got the adapter at. Well, I made these. This is another one I've made. I just haven't put the holes in it yet because this really needs to be screwed into the gun and then have the market and then put the holes in it for the screws to hold the adapter on. So anyway, the actual bottle adapter itself come from Archer air guns. They have two different ones. They have one that's it's an adapter for putting a big PCP tank on, and it really doesn't have much offset. The other one is a PCP conversion kit for a Crossman, or I don't think it fits the QB series guns that they have. But the QB is a lot like the Crossman. I think they also sell one for the QB. But the one I got from Archer Air Guns, I'll take it out of the bag and show you. It has just enough drop to make this perfect for the air javelin. You see how much drop that is? Alright, this is the one you want. The other one doesn't look like this. You'll be able to tell the difference when you're looking on their website. And the website's a little bit hard to navigate when you're looking for this part, but you'll find it. Don't call them and tell them you want a drop-down block. They will tell you in quick fashion they don't sell drop-down blocks. They don't call it that, and they want you to call it by whatever their name is. I think that's a bottle adapter on their website. Anyway, this thing just slides in there, and it has two little screws go in the hole. And the head of the screw is what holds this thing from coming back out. And there's only, like I said, 850 psi regulated, like just a plain old paintball conversion, right? So that is plenty stout enough for a conversion. And in another video, or maybe in my Umarex Air Javelin Facebook group, I'll put the specs so you guys can make your own off of mine. And maybe somebody will come up with a better design than I do. Anyway, good luck.